Conservative New Media viewers and Jeremy Lin fans around the world, hey, what's going on? We are here to go over Houston's 105-95 loss tonight to the Indiana Pacers in Indianapolis, Indiana. With the loss, Houston drops to 21-20 on the season, and this was their sixth defeat in a row. Indiana is 25-16 on the year. What happened in this game was that Houston got in a hole in the first quarter. They were outscored by 13 points in the first quarter, and they never really caught up. They never really were able to come back from that, even though they made some runs. This was a contrast of offense versus defense. The Rockets, I think, are tied for scoring the most points per game in the league, and I believe the Pacers give up the fewest points per game in the league. And that's what this was about. This was offense versus defense, and Indiana's defense basically won. Houston did cut the lead down to like 2 points in the second half, I think in the third quarter, but they just weren't able to get all the way over the hump, take the lead, and then surge ahead. It just didn't happen tonight. Some of what happened in this game was that Indiana made shots, and Houston didn't make shots. Sometimes you will hear commentators say that the NBA is a make or miss league. What that means is it's about who hits open shots. You either make them or you miss them. If you make them, you win. If you miss them, you lose. Tonight, Indiana made those shots, and Houston didn't, and that's a big part of the reason why Houston lost this game. Paul George for the Pacers had a great game. He had 31 points. He was just dominating in the first half. He just was unstoppable. David West, the power forward for the Pacers, also had a very good game. He nearly had a triple-double. Houston's power forward struggled in this game quite a bit. James Harden struggled, and I know people have mentioned that in recent comment sections of videos, and I think he's in a little bit of a funk right now. I think he is kind of hitting the wall in terms of fatigue, and the season is dragging on here now. We're midway through the season pretty much, and I just think that James Harden is kind of coming up against it a little bit. You see this with other players in the league as well. Watching the Los Angeles Lakers versus Miami Heat game yesterday, Kobe looked tired. He looked tired. He looked like his legs weren't there for most of the game. And so you're going to see this around the league now. You're going to see players that are playing a lot of minutes, and they're going to start to slow down a little bit. They're going to need some rest and recovery, and I think that's what's happening to James Harden. And as I mentioned before, that's one reason why it's really important that Houston does get more depth, that they do bring up guys like Patrick Beverley, because Houston relies so much on James Harden to score that when he's having tough nights like tonight, they're going to have a hard time winning. And so the more that you can support James Harden and get more scores, the easier it's going to be for him and the team. Now, Patrick Beverley was very good in this game. I'll talk more about him in a little bit. He had 8 points and like 2 assists, but he really played well. And I think just from watching him tonight, I think he's better than Tony Douglas. And Tony Douglas didn't play at all in this game. And I don't know if he was officially out, like with an injury, or if Coach McHale just wanted to see what Patrick Beverley can do. But I really think that Beverley showed a lot tonight. And something else I want to mention in regards to that is sometimes people will criticize Coach McHale because they think he's being tough on Jeremy. Now he'll pull Jeremy out of the game and he didn't give him a chance. Well, like I said, Tony Douglas might have not gotten any chances tonight. So the point is that Coach McHale's tough on everybody. You know, he's an old school coach, and that's the way he seems to do business. And that's, you can handle that as long as the guy's like that with everybody. Now, some of the younger players and the newer players, they don't like coaches like that. And, you know, I mean, you have to get along with the players and stuff, but I don't think the guys on the team are going to have a real problem with it as long as he's like that with everybody. So, based upon what happened with Tony Douglas tonight, it does seem like he's like that with everybody and not just Jeremy or any other players. I do think that there's a very good chance that Houston is going to win tomorrow night at Minnesota. So I think the losing streak is going to end at 6. Now, Minnesota's a good team, and they're very good at home, but they're so injured. Kevin Love's out. Now Pekovic's out. I think Alexei Shved is also out. They're just hurting physically. And I wouldn't be stunned Minnesota won, but I think tomorrow is a very good opportunity for Houston to break this losing streak, stay above 500, and the schedule's going to get easier. Now, this has been an incredibly difficult part of the schedule. I looked over the schedule, and there's only 2 more times through the end of the regular season where there's going to be tough stretches. I think there's a couple 4-game stretches that are going to be tough for Houston. Well, this has been longer stretch that's been difficult. So this is probably about as bad as it's going to get. So Houston just kind of needs to pull it together, hold it together, try to get that win tomorrow, and move on from there. Even though the Rockets lost this game, I did like the way that they came back in this game. And, again, I like the depth that was shown in this game, particularly in the backcourt. The power forwards for the team really had a tough time, and the big men off the bench didn't get much done. But I really liked that backcourt depth, and I do think that is going to help a tremendous amount as this regular season continues and hopefully on into the playoffs. It makes things much easier. Okay, let's talk about Jeremy. Jeremy had a solid game. He didn't play spectacularly. It's not Linsanity 2.0, and it's been, I don't know, maybe 4 games since we've gotten a good, solid Linsanity 2.0 game. But he played well. He pretty much played George Hill, the Indiana point guard, to a draw in terms of efficiency and overall effectiveness. And Jeremy had very good pace in this game. He played with pace. He played fast. He played with speed. He had good rhythm. He shot the ball well, and he hit both of his three-pointer attempts. And we'll talk about that a little bit more to come. He had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He played 31 minutes, hit 4 out of 7 field goal attempts, was 2 of 2 on three-pointers, didn't take any free throws in the games, no steals, no block shots, 3 turnovers, and his efficiency number was 12. So, like I said, it was a solid game. Nothing amazing, but not terrible. And he just didn't shoot that much. But he played the right way, so to speak. Now, just a little bit of quarter by quarter. Early in the first quarter, Jeremy hit a nice little pull-up jump shot from the right elbow. That's his shot, meaning to say he likes to shoot off of the dribble. And he just stepped right into it, nice little 15-footer, and drilled it. That's great. It's good to see. And he had good confidence in his shot all night. The middle of the first quarter, Jeremy dribbled through the lane. He was dribbling. He kind of came down the middle of the lane, I believe, and then he came out. He kept dribbling, and he went out the left side. We've seen this before. All of the defenders focus on him. And then while those guys are looking at him and trying to react to him, Chandler Parsons cut down the middle of the lane. Jeremy hit him with a great pass for an easy layup. Again, that's a type of play that Steve Nash would make, or Chris Paul would make. It's really good to see Jeremy looking for those types of plays. He understands the mentality of that play, which is to say, you will draw the attention. All the defenders will focus on you because you're so close to the basket and you got the ball in your hand. So they're going to focus on you and someone else can get easily free. That's what happened. We've seen Jeremy do this before, and that was a really great play there. It might have been his best play all night. Late in the first, this was weird. I'm not exactly sure what happened on this play. Jeremy was called for a carry or discontinuation of a dribble What that means is like it can also be called palming the ball. It's like when you dribble and then you turn your hand over, like you're going to hold the ball in your hand, like a crystal ball, and then you start dribbling again. You're not allowed to do that. The thing that was weird about the play was I think one referee called it a carry, and I think the other referee called a foul. It was just weird. It was just kind of a strange thing. So that was his second turnover of the night. And so 2 of his 3 turnovers came in the first quarter, and then pretty much he kind of calmed down and he only had 1 turnover the rest of the game. Late in the first also, Beverly came in for Jeremy, and he did well right from the beginning. You can see this guy is aggressive, he's fast, he's good on defense, and I really think this guy could be a very good backup. Very good. I think this is somebody that is going to help the team and Jeremy quite a bit and as time goes along. Early in the second, Beverly stayed in. He stayed in for Jeremy. He kept playing well. He hit a 3-point shot. Beverly did. He set up Carlos Delfino for a nice 3-pointer. Excellent. Jeremy came back in for Beverly, I don't know, with about 8.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Now, late in that quarter, Jeremy had a really good sequence. First, he was driving on the baseline along near the end line, right to left, and then he set up Chandler for a really nice 3-pointer. Then Jeremy hit a 3-pointer himself from about 15 degrees to the right of the top of the arc. He shot it. He caught it. It was a catch and shoot 3-pointer, meaning no dribbling. He just caught the ball and shot it. He had good rhythm on the shot. You could tell he did what he wanted to do on the shot, and it went in. Then I think he disrupted a play for Indiana. He burst ahead and got an easy layup. That was a really nice sequence, and I thought that Jeremy was able to do that sequence because he's getting a good rest, because he sees Patrick Beverly going in there, and Patrick Beverly's doing well. And look, I'm not knocking Tony Douglas. I like Tony Douglas. I think Tony Douglas is a good guy, and he has helped the team a lot this season. I just think Patrick Beverly might be a better fit for this team right now, just because of how aggressive and fast he is. And what I saw in that sequence with Jeremy is that he looked fresh. His legs look quick, and that's happening because Patrick Beverly came in the game and played well, which means Jeremy gets to rest more, which means that Jeremy can come in the game and he's ready to go full speed. His legs aren't tired. Like I said, like James Harden might be tiring a little bit. Well, Jeremy's not dealing with that, and that's good. And that's where Patrick Beverly and Tony Douglas and these other guys on the bench can really help out. Jeremy has to play a speed game right now. He needs to play at full speed, as we've talked about before. He's not as good in the half court with this offense based upon where his skill level is right now. 3-point shooting, etc. They don't do a lot of pick and rolls, so he needs to get transition baskets. He needs to make things happen on the fast break. And if Jeremy's going to play that type of a game, if he's going to play a speed game for now, then he needs to be fresh. And that's why it's critical to have Patrick Beverly and other backups that can come in and not give up big leads or fall behind by too much, so that Jeremy can rest, gets enough rest, and he can come in and play that way. And I thought that really happened tonight. I thought that really happened, and it was a good sign. I really am high on how this is going to work out, having Patrick Beverly in the rotation. And again, Jeremy will be able to play slower as his career goes on, as he becomes a better 3-point shooter, as he gets a couple more individual moves, as he learns how to play with these teammates in this offense more and more. It'll come, but just for now, he needs to play quick. Late in the second as well, Jeremy drove in the middle of the lane, and I wasn't sure how he was going to finish, but at the very end, he went for a quick little sneaky left-handed layup. Now, he missed the shot. He missed it. It was too hard. But that was a good move. It was a very good move. We've talked about this. I said Jeremy needs to be able to finish with his left hand at the rim, and that's what he did right there. To me, also, that move shows that his quickness is getting better. Now, people don't even think about his knee anymore, but it's probably still getting back to full speed, and he's getting where he's not thinking about it anymore. I think that process is, I don't know, maybe a month to 2 months away, where it's just like, it's not an issue anymore. He doesn't have to worry about icing it constantly or this type of thing. I mean, I don't know. That's just a guess based upon where he's at in the timetable of recovery. But that little move for the layup, that was fast. It was quick. And I thought I really saw a lot of quickness from Jeremy in this game in terms of his movement and his burst to the rim. So that's definitely a good thing to see. Now, early in the third, Jeremy had a nice pass to Chandler again. I think it was for a layup. What I noticed then as well is that the team was playing quick because of Jeremy. And we've talked about this before. Jeremy was making sure the team was playing fast. And this is what we've said, why it's so important for him to play quick, because he's the quarterback. He's the general of the offense. If he plays fast, everybody else will play fast. But if he doesn't play fast, they don't play fast. And that's why Kevin McHale, again, why I believe Kevin McHale would pull him out of games earlier before, because he wasn't playing that fast. And he's having less and less of a problem with that. As I've also said, it's more important for Jeremy to play fast than to play well. And what I mean is, it's better if you're playing quick and you miss some shots. That's okay. That's better than playing slow and hitting shots. Because if you're playing slow, the whole team's playing slow, and that's not what this team is built for. That's not what the coaches want it to be. So that's why I don't have a problem with Jeremy's performance tonight. I mean, he shot well and stuff, but he played the right way. He played at the right pace. And that's why he got a lot of playing time tonight. Even though Patrick Beverly played well, Jeremy played a lot because he was playing the way that the coaching staff wants him to play. And that's good. And I mentioned this, I believe, in the last Lakers game. Jeremy and the whole team has to get used to playing really fast. Now, I think I said in that game that there's a speed of the game in which it's too fast for Jeremy, based upon his skill set, based upon his decision-making, his ball handling, etc. What you saw tonight, though, is he's getting better with that. He's starting to get used to playing at that speed. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. When teams play the Lakers, who also played a very quick pace, they're not used to that pace. And so it throws them off. They can't play at that pace because they don't play at that pace usually. But the Lakers always play at that pace, so they're used to it. And they have the skill level to be able to handle it. What Houston wants to do, and they're starting to do, but it's still going to take time, is they want the same thing. They want to be able to play at a pace that nobody else is comfortable with except for them. And they're getting there, but they're still not comfortable with it. Houston is still not comfortable with it. And that's going to take time. That's going to take more time with the team playing together, guys developing individual skills like ball handling, shooting, etc., decision-making. But I thought tonight you could see Jeremy is getting there. He's developing in that way. Again, Jeremy is extremely fast. So if he's able to play at that pace, and he will be able to, there's not a lot of people he's going to go against that are going to be able to stay with him, because most guys just aren't fast enough to keep up with him. So once the mental game and the skill game catches up with his physical ability, then he's going to be doing great. And that's coming. Also, early in the third, Jeremy had another one of his it was actually a half-court pass to Harden. Great pass. Unfortunately, Harden took his eye off the ball at the last minute, so he fumbled it out of bounds. Jeremy had, just through 3 quarters, and then I stopped counting, he had 9 blown assists in this game. I mean, his assists could be a lot higher than they were. And like I said, it happens. Tonight was there were a lot of blown assists tonight, more than usual. So that's just something that happened tonight. Again, Jeremy hit another catch and shoot 3-pointer, about 25 degrees to the right off of the top. Exactly the same as the other one. He caught it. He was in rhythm. No hesitation. Boom, right up and in. That is great. Like I said, Jeremy is going to be able to become a good 3-point shooter. I don't know if he's going to be a great 3-point shooter, but he can become at least a good one. If he's able to do what he did tonight, then he's going to be able to do that again in the future, just in the same way that we knew he could do well this year based on Linsanity 1.0. If you have the ability, you're going to keep the ability. In the middle of the third, Jeremy had a tough stretch. He went for a layup and was blocked at the rim by David West. Then he drove, and I think he came up against Roy Hibbert, the shot blocker for Indiana. And then Jeremy looked to pass, and then the defense anticipated that, and they picked off the pass. And then after that, he had a little pass to Omer Ashik, who just had a difficult time finishing. There was a short little hook, and Omer couldn't finish it. So that was a tough little stretch. I think after then, part of the game, I think Patrick Beverley came in for Jeremy. But it wasn't that Jeremy played that poorly, even in that stretch. He did what he needed to do. He was attacking. He was aggressive. It just didn't work out the way he hoped it would. I'm just looking at a quick note that I have here. Yeah, I mean, Houston, again, we talked about Beard being off in this game. We talked about Beard missing shots and how he's been like this the last couple games, at least the last 2 games. This is why Houston needs more scoring. And Beverly has the reputation as a scorer. Now, I've heard some other people say that when he's playing in Europe, he wasn't that much of a scorer. Well, as you can see, he's very aggressive. He's not hesitant to shoot, and he's not hesitant to go to the basket. Now, he's not a big guy. He's only like 6'1", so he might not be able to get the kind of layups that he did in other levels of competition, but anything that Houston can do to find scoring outside of James Harden is really going to help them. The coaching staff relies on Harden. They lean on him. People say, why is he shooting so much? And he's doing this and he's doing that. It's because the coaching staff looks at him to do that. He's the guy that they expect to score. So even if he's not shooting well or whatever, he's going to have the green light to keep shooting. I thought that tonight, for the first time, I really felt like, Harden shouldn't be shooting as much as he is. He's forcing too many shots tonight. And again, he's hitting the wall a little bit physically. He's just, he's looking for a foul on every play, and he's just throwing up bricks, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not here to, I don't want to rip James Harden. This is it's a team. He hasn't gone through this before. He's never been the guy. So he's the guy, and he's starting to figure out, I'm starting to tire out a little bit this season. So, he's learning this, and the team is learning what he can and can't do and when he can and can't do it. And third, they need scoring. So until they feel comfortable with somebody else giving them consistent scoring, they're going to keep trying to force feed James Harden. So it's not all James Harden's fault that he keeps putting up shots. They want him to keep putting up shots. He's still their best option. So certainly, probably in the offseason. I mean, it'd be great if it happened before the trading deadline, which is February 21st, 2013. Houston needs to get more scoring. I would imagine that the best fit for that would be at the power forward position. There's always talk that Houston needs to upgrade the power forward position. Okay, they're going to need to do that. Jeremy's going to work on his jump shot, his three-point shot over the offseason, I'm sure. Omer Asik will work on his offensive moves. They need to find more consistent scorers to help Harden now. So that's a little bit of a weakness. And I did feel like Harden forced it a little too much tonight. Even though that's his role, it was like it was a little too much tonight, I thought. So I thought Jeremy showed good command of the team tonight. You saw him barking out orders, guys, go here, go there. Good. You can see he's feeling comfortable. He's getting more and more comfortable and confident in his role as the leader and the general of the offense. That's good. Finally, late in the third quarter, Jeremy, there was a defensive switch, and he had David West against him, who, again, is the power forward. Jeremy did the right thing in that situation, which is, again, if you have a big guy on you, and you're a guard, you either want to take him to the rim or make a move on him and shoot over him because you're in an advantage because that guy can't guard you. He's not quick enough. Jeremy did a good job with that. He recognized the situation. He went to the basket, and I think he had to pass it because the help defender came up. I think it was Roy Hibbert. But it was good that Jeremy recognized he made the right choice there. When you have that advantage, you take it. And it's almost like a big man being guarded by a short dude. If you have that, you got to post him up. So Jeremy did that, and that was really good to see. In the fourth quarter, not a ton to say. Beverly started the fourth quarter. He did well. Again, he hit another three-pointer. Jeremy came in, did some stuff. Finally, he just missed a little drive to the right side of the rim late in the quarter. Little double clutch move. He missed one of those the other day. He'll get better at that. Just body control. I think he was concerned about the shot blocking of Indiana. They're very good shot blocking, led by Hibbert. So they make you think about your layups more than you might against other teams. That was about it. Look, the summary is this was a tough loss, but again, I expected this game to be a loss. Indiana is a very good team, and they're great at home. I mean, they're 16-3 at home after tonight. You don't beat them at home. Jeremy was solid. I think this was another new team that he was facing, for the first time as a Rocket. I think that's 24 teams now that he's faced of the 29 possible opponents. Good. You put it in the hard drive, you store it away, and you move on to the next game. And again, Jeremy's seen almost all the possible opponents and almost all the possible point guards in the league now. There's 5 more left. And whoever he didn't get to see the first time around because of injury or something, like Drew Holiday in Philly. So he's almost through the cycle. He's almost through the first round of this. And that's good. The knee's getting better. He's playing better. As I said, who even thinks about his ball handling anymore? I mean, at the beginning of the year, it's like, oh, man, he can't dribble. Now it's like, we don't even talk about that anymore. Now, he can get better at it, but it's you can see how much he's improving. And it's clear, obviously, that a lot of what he was struggling with early in the year was the knee and a new system and new teammates and all that type of stuff. So he's, as we said, he's played about 100 games now as an NBA player, which is, put him like early in his second season if he was starting or playing all the games. He's still learning, but like I said, we're just about through that initial welcome to the league as a starter and a player with a lot of focus on him. We're just about done with that stage for Jeremy. And I think he's doing great. He's doing great. I mean, and you know that there's a lot he can improve upon, so he should only get better. Again, I'm thrilled with the way Patrick Beverley played in this game. He played great, and he's looking like a very solid pickup for the Rockets. Finally, I do think the losing streak will end tomorrow. I do. I'm sure hope it does, but I think it will. And there are sunnier skies on the horizon because the schedule is definitely going to get easier now. And that's it. Like I said, the Rockets are still above 500. I think they're still in a playoff spot, number 8, or they're number 9. They're right there. Good. We're almost through this. Onwards and upwards. Okay, leave your comments below. Thumbs up, thumbs down this video. We will include full information in the video description below the video player for game highlights, box score, game stories, and information so you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group, which has over 2,000 members and is growing all the time. Love to have you come and join that. I am Paul Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Hope everybody's having a great night or a great day wherever you are in the world when you watch this video. Take care, and we will see you again tomorrow. Houston at the Minnesota Timberwolves.